you to Lewis Field in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where this afternoon the 12th-ranked Cowboys of Oklahoma State University will play host to the 8th-ranked Sooners of the University of Oklahoma. And the big factor today, it's going to be the wind. Gusts expected up to 40 miles per hour. Hi, everyone. I'm Roger Twibell. These two teams have met for a number of years, but unfortunately for Oklahoma State, Oklahoma's always had the upper hand. The last time the Cowboys picked up a victory, 1976, that game in Norman. The last time they won here in Stillwater was 1966, and the only time they've won here since 1932. Let's bring in Lee Corso right now. And Lee, Oklahoma State every year looks at this game as their big game. The Sooners, on the other hand, they look at Texas and Nebraska as the big game.
Yeah, because Oklahoma State never beats them, like you said. Now, Oklahoma State's a good football team, though. They've got 19-3 out of the last 22 ball games, and all 3 losses to Nebraska and Oklahoma. But it's a big game. There's 10 different bowls represented today.
You know, Oklahoma State University is a prolific offensive team this season. As a matter of fact, they lead the nation in scoring offense, averaging nearly 48 points a game. Can we expect them to put those numbers on the board against OU today?
I doubt it. I tell you, they have already scored 1 touchdown in the last 3 years against Oklahoma, so they've got to try to open the ball game up. Run a reverse, throw a pass, do something to loosen them up, and then on defense, don't panic. They panicked against Nebraska. Nebraska scored 35 points in the first quarter. They got to play it cool and don't panic on defense.
Oklahoma State's defense has been a problem the last couple of years. Currently, they're 95th in the nation in defense. But, Lee, they seem to play pretty good against wishbone teams. Can Oklahoma and their powerful wishbone exploit this defense?
Well, they should be able, because Oklahoma has moved the ball well against Oklahoma State. But remember, there's one thing important here. Oklahoma must do the things they do best, the triple option, fullback, quarterback, pitch. On defense, they got to contain and punish number 21, Barry Sanders. Try to intimidate him, because he's a key to the Oklahoma State offense.
And for the first time this year, for all of you folks who've heard about Barry Sanders, you're going to see him. He is a great back. There was recently a straw poll taken among people voting for the Heisman Trophy, and this just last week, and Sanders with the lead over Troy Aikman. Now, Lee, in my opinion, Sanders doesn't need a huge game today. A good game by Sanders, and more importantly, a win by Oklahoma State will do more for his Heisman chances than anything else.
Well, Sanders will get the most votes of anybody not playing quarterback position. But I also think the secret is 1989. He's got to battle Harris and Walsh, the 2 quarterbacks, for the 1989 Heisman Trophy. This is a big game for him.
Big game for Barry Sanders and for Oklahoma State University, as both Oklahoma State and Oklahoma in the battle for the Big 8 Conference title. And now the Sooners of the University of Oklahoma. And a few boos here in Stillwater to be expected, as now the Cowboys of Oklahoma State University. Man, does the wind ever blow in Oklahoma? I have to tell you, the flags are blowing. The sky's partly cloudy. The temperature 58 degrees, humidity 44%. The wind north-northwest at 16 miles per hour, and gusts from 30 to 40 miles per hour. Oklahoma won the toss. They will receive, and they don't care about the wind, Lee. They don't care about the sun. They don't care whether they're on the road.
They don't care if they're in Tokyo or the United States. They want to get the football first and intimidate the opponent's defense.
Oklahoma State wearing orange pants for the 3rd time this year. They wore them against Texas A&M, and they won 52-15. They wore them on the road at Colorado, and they won 41-21. As Oklahoma has Rod Fisher 7, Mike Gundy 32 back deep. Kerry Blanchard sends it out of the end zone with the wind to his back, and why not? Let's check out the Sooners offensively. Charles Thompson, the sophomore, is the quarterback. Leon Perry's the fullback from Orlando. The halfbacks, Eric Mitchell and Mike Gaddis. The split end is Eric Gross from Houston. The tight end, Adrian Cooper. The center is Mike Wise. The guards, Mike Salotsky and Anthony Phillips, a Lombardi candidate. Taron Manning and Mark Van Kiersville, the offensive tackles. The Sooners, 1st and 10 from the 20. Thompson's checking off at the line of scrimmage. Pitch it back. Gaddis to midfield. Gaddis to the 30-yard line. Melvin Gilliam, the senior from Tulsa, knocked him out after the 50-yard gain.
The quarterback automatic to the weak side. Watch the fullback. The fullback goes the opposite direction. He pitches it to Gaddis, number 32. Gets an outstanding block by 64 Manning, who knocks two men down on the left side. And there goes Gaddis for a 50-yard run.
Second longest run from scrimmage for Mike Gaddis, a freshman from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Thompson, who has now inherited the starting quarterback job from Jamel Holloway. First and 10 from the 30. Right up the gut is Leon Perry. And the Cowboys defensively. Marcus Jones from Port Arthur, Texas. Brandon Colbert and Sean Mackey, the defensive tackles. David Bailey, Devin Jones, the defensive ends. The backers, Torrance Cummings, getting the start this week, and Sindrain the third. The corners are Gilliam and Joe King. And the safeties for Oklahoma State, Lamar McGriggs and Rod Smith, back after serving a one-game suspension last week. Second down and 6 than Holloway was a year ago, as Leon Perry dives down to the 13-yard line. Oklahoma fourth in the nation in rushing offense with over 374 yards a game and 11th in total offense. And Lee, they go up against a defense 91st in rushing defense, 95th total defense. But they're a big play defense. They've caused a lot of turnovers. They've also played well against the wishbone.
Pat Jones does a good job on his sideline there of making adjustments as the game goes along. He's an excellent defensive football coach.
Another 3rd and 4 for Oklahoma. They're into the wind. Pitch back to Gaddis. Touchdown! Just his second touchdown this year for freshman Mike Gaddis.
Beautiful block by number 25, Stafford. As you watch the bottom left-hand picture, you'll see a defensive man disappear right there. That was the block by number 25, Stafford, that allowed Gaddis, number 32, who Barry Switzer thinks is the next great superstar at Oklahoma, score a touchdown.
R.D. Lasher will attempt the point after into the wind. He's 35 of 36 this year, and he line drives that one through. So Gaddis, 3 carries, 66 yards. Of course, the big run, the 50-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. And Oklahoma jumps out on top 7-0. Charles Thompson will kick it off into the wind now. And the man who goes back deep for Oklahoma State is number 22. And that is Mitch Nash. Now, Sanders does return kickoffs, and the last 2 years he has returned the opening kickoff of the season, 100 yards for a touchdown. He's also, last year, led the nation in kickoff returns, punt returns, but today he is not back there. Now they do flip him back, so Sanders, 21, does go back. And let's see how Oklahoma handles the kickoff into the wind here. Low squib sort of kick, and it's taken by an upback at the 22-yard line. And he better just get down to the ground as he does. That's Brent Parker, a backup wide receiver. Let's check out the offense now for Oklahoma State University. The quarterback is Mike Gundy from Midwest City. Garrett Limbrick, Barry Sanders, the running backs. Limbrick, a great blocker. Hart, Dykes, Jared Green, the wide receivers. The tight end is Vance Vice. Up front, John Bovair is the center. The guards, Chris Stanley and Jason Kidder, and the tackles, Mike Wolf and Byron Woodard. First and 10 for Oklahoma State from the 34-yard line. And watch for a gimmick play. They don't do it as Sanders gets across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Kurt Casper makes the stop for Oklahoma, and let's check them out defensively right now. The nose guard is Tony Woods from Colorado Springs. Scott Evans, leading sack man for Oklahoma, and Curtis Williams, the tackles. The defensive ends, Wayne Dixon and James Good. The linebackers, Kurt Casper, Frank Blevins are leading tacklers. Jerry Parks and Scott Garl, the corners. Ken McMitchell and Kevin Thompson are the safeties. And there's the flip back. Gundy has got to run with it, and he doesn't do that very well as he leans forward to the 33-yard line. Frank Blevins made the stop. They lose 6, and Lee, we knew it was going to be the first or second play, and what they did was they pitched it to Sanders, ran toward the line of scrimmage, and threw it back to Gundy.
It's called the old flea flicker pack. But what happened is the defensive secondary, number 22 Thompson especially, who's a very fine football player, stayed back and watched number 11 Dykes. Now remember, 21 got the ball, flipped it back to Gundy, who's now moving around, and now the play is wrecked. Now he's just got to fall down and hope he doesn't get hit by those big gorillas.
3rd down and 11. Gundy finds Dykes, and it's not going to be enough for the first down. 10 yards on the pickup. It was 3rd and 11, and Hartley Dykes said, this is the year I've got to do it against the University of Oklahoma. In the past 2 years, he's caught 6 passes for 75 yards, the only Big 8 team he hasn't scored a touchdown against.
It's an interesting call right here. It's 4th down and 1. Do they go for it or do they try to punt it?
And substitutions being sent in right now. Brent Parker, the wide receiver, checks into the game, and it looks like Oklahoma State will go for it. 4th and 1.
No matter what happens, this is a good call.
Sanders, and he doesn't get it. Sanders did a little dance at the line of scrimmage, and the man there, Scott Evans, the sophomore from Edmond, who Barry Switzer calls the best defensive player in the Big 8.
The reason I said it was a good call, they've got to try to do something to take away from the play from Oklahoma. Obviously, they can't stop Oklahoma. They've got to keep the ball. But watch number 78 right there, Evans, comes in and makes a good play and knocks Sanders down before he can get
Roger Twyba, Lee Corso with you. And Kevin Thompson had to leave the field with the assistance of the Oklahoma trainers. It looked like a left knee injury. As Oklahoma, good field position, 1st and 10 from the 44. And Gaddis, he could go all the way. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Man, does this look like the Nebraska game?
We mentioned in the pregame show that they cannot panic defensively. Nebraska scored 35 unanswered points in the first quarter because the Oklahoma State team panicked. Gaddis, number 32, gets a great block in the middle. Watch the center, 65 wide, drive a man deep. Number 53, Drain takes him out of the play, and that's all Gaddis needs. He's fast enough to outrun number 2, Gilliam, and it's a touchdown for Oklahoma.
4 carries, 110 yards for Mike Gaddis. R.D. Lasher, the point after. And it's good. And with 10:21 to go, first quarter, Oklahoma leads Oklahoma State 14-0. And this is the thing that Pat Jones wanted to avoid more than anything else, because they did come back against Nebraska Lee and play some pretty good football, and they did make a game of it. But Pat Jones wanted to avert that. That's Scott Verplank, a PGA Tour player and a former Oklahoma State grad on the sidelines.
Now, Pat Jones knows that he's got the offensive team that could get back in this ball game. The reason why he went for 4th down, again, I'll bring this up, is because he thought that he didn't have an all-defense that could stop Oklahoma, and the only way to beat him was to keep the ball away from him.
He said his best defense would be his offense. Back deep, Mitch Nash, one of the players back there. Sanders is back on the kick team, but as a short man. And one of the up men will take it. That's Lindbrick, who gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And now, with 10:16 to go, first quarter, Oklahoma State will try to get something working. Gundy on the option pitches to Sanders, and 3 men hit him over on the far side. The first man there was James Good, and Scott Garl, the senior safety, was also there. So they said they wanted to hit Sanders early, and they wanted to hit him often.
A little reverse option. A quarterback will reverse pivot, come down the line of scrimmage. He pitches off the outside man. But, ladies and gentlemen, 39 is good enough to take the quarterback and the pitch. Oklahoma is in trouble. Oklahoma State's in trouble.
And that's his name, James Good. 2nd down and 9. Sanders, 3 carries, 5 yards. Near side, the completion. Jared Green, number 19, made the reception, and that'll be enough for an Oklahoma State first down. Jerry Parks on the coverage, 12 yards on the pickup.
It's important that Gundy and Oklahoma State get something on the board going with the wind, because with the passing attack, when they start the other way, it's going to be more difficult. Oklahoma doesn't worry if the wind is blowing or not. They're just going to run the option play.
3 wide receivers now for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 from the 47. Green's in motion to the near side, and they give it to Sanders. And there are 4 or 5 white shirts around Barry Sanders every time he carries it. Frank Blevins, the leading tackler, strong side linebacker out of Killeen, Texas, the first man there to make the stop.
One thing I noticed automatically up here is that Oklahoma has got almost 8 men, 7.5 men in the position to stop Sanders. Obviously, they're going to stop Sanders, and Gundy has got to throw the ball to try to beat him.
This is a veteran offensive line for Oklahoma State University. Primarily fifth-year seniors. 2nd and 9. Dykes in motion to the near side. Gundy. Throwing on the run to Dykes. Great catch inside the 20. Down to the 16-yard line. Hart lead Dykes, the all-time leading Big 8 receiver. 28 yards on the reception.
Gundy starts to drop back. He wants to throw the ball to the right. The line is giving him good protection in there. 73 Kidder gets a good block on the lineman. Now he starts to scramble. Watch the one-handed catch by Hart lead Dykes. Oh, that was sensational. That's the play that Oklahoma State needed.
And that's the catch that Hart lead Dykes needed against Oklahoma, and the pass Gundy needed to complete. Now Sanders on the pitch. Breaks 2 tackles. Look at him drive inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Barry Sanders, 5'8", 197, a junior from Wichita North High School, and he is one solid muscle.
And he ran over right tackle, number 56, Woodard. Now watch him. He gets the hand, a pitch out. He's watching the blocking the line, number 32. Limbrick gets a good block, but right here, the thing I like about him the most is you notice that body lean. He's driving for that extra yardage. Oklahoma was loosened up by the pass. Now it's time for Sanders to run.
2nd down and 2 from the 10. Sanders fumbles. He gets it back, and he's very close to the first down. Pat Jones knew he had something special when he recruited Barry Sanders, because Kansas, Kansas State, and Tulsa, the only other schools to recruit him, they brought him in with freshman orientation. The first thing they did, they tested him the vertical leap, 41.5 inches, and Jones says, I'm a better recruiter than I thought I was. And there's a look at Pat Jones. Personal guys had a great career at Oklahoma State since taking over for Jimmy Johnson. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Sanders alone setback. Gundy checking off now at the line of scrimmage. When in doubt, go to Sanders. Inside the 5, spinning to the 3. He's so very strong. He runs so low to the ground, and one man cannot tackle him.
Good strategy that time by Pat Jones. He puts a one-back offense and spreads the Oklahoma defense out so that he can run the Washington Redskins' favorite play. He'll start to the right, and the right guard, Kidder, is pulling and trapping, and then he breaks and finds an open spot. Number 34 cannot pull him down, and he drives forward.
2nd down and goal from the 4. Less than 7 minutes to go. First quarter. Gundy will roll out. Gundy now tucks it under. Gundy, touchdown, Oklahoma State. With his first rushing touchdown this year. They told us, Lee, they wanted him to run with the ball a little bit more against Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State come up this time real fast before the Oklahoma team could get set up. Number 34, Dixon, gets good support, but there goes Gundy, and he's determined to score.
Kerry Blanchard, the point after it's good. He's the 7th leading scorer in the nation, averaging better than 10 points a game. And with 6:52 to go first quarter, Oklahoma leads Oklahoma State 14-7. Roger Trotter, Lee Corso, back with you at Lewis Field in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Kerry Blanchard, a sophomore, will get set to kick it off. And back deep, Rod Fisher, number 7. Glenn Milburn, number 5. And does it really matter with the wind to his back? No, not at all. And Mike Gundy. He needed a big game against Oklahoma, a big play. So did Hart lead Dykes. They got it in the first quarter, folks. That will make a difference in this game. Thompson checking off at the line of scrimmage. Pitch back. Anthony Stafford Stafford, who's been out with an injury, and this is his first action in a while. Sim Drain, the linebacker from Stillwater, makes the tackle. He's number 53. Stafford's a senior out of St. Louis.
To stop the wishbone, you need the free safety to become an alley player, which means he stays inside out, and then he's got this pitch-out man. He overruns the play by Stafford, number 25, but at least he's up there in position. If he just breaks down a little bit, he can make a better tackle. That will help slow down the option.
45, Rod Smith, a couple of interceptions this year, one for a touchdown. 2nd and 3. Gaddis inside the 40 to the 35-yard line. And what a good-looking freshman Mike Gaddis is. Gillian and Smith in on the stop. And Gaddis, who has a couple of touchdowns and over 100 yards already, gets about 12 more.
Now when 45 Smith makes the tackle, this is bad. This is a counter-option play, and they've broken through the linebackers and are going on the field. Now watch. Smith tried to bring down Gaddis, number 32, but the key to this thing right now is Oklahoma has made but one mistake, and that was the center quarterback exchange. If they do not make mistakes, Oklahoma State cannot stop them.
Smith is the leading tackler from Oklahoma State. Had over 60 tackles coming into this game. 1st and 10 from the 35. Gaddis with 123 yards already. First man through is Perry, and he leans down to the 30, possibly the 29. 2nd and 5 for the Sooners. Thompson's got room. Thompson inside the 20, tiptoes down the sidelines, and out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Torrance Cummings, the junior from Fort Smith, Arkansas, was the man that ran him out.
But Mr. Clark, number 1 from Oklahoma State's in big trouble. The option takes the ball, takes Perry, comes down the line of scrimmage. They've given the quarterback the option. Now watch. He's gone, number 1, and there goes Thompson down the sideline. It's physically impossible for Oklahoma State to stop Oklahoma when Oklahoma's run this option because they're so much quicker. Notice the quickness of the Oklahoma team.
And it looks like the Oklahoma State linebackers are getting sucked up too close to the line of scrimmage. You're getting tied up with the defensive linemen. 1st and 10. Perry bowling over people down to the 7-yard line. Leon Perry. You know, Lee, it's been 5 years since the last time Oklahoma had a running back to go for over 1,000 yards. I think Mike Gaddis, even though he only came into this game with 234, next year is going to have a good shot at it.
If he was at a school to use the I formation, he might have 1,000 yards in a half a season.
Like Barry Sanders.
Or at UCLA, or someplace at SC where the I formation tailback. Perry is an outstanding fullback. He's the key to this offense.
2nd down, Perry, touchdown Oklahoma.
I just said Perry is an outstanding football player and is the key to the offense. Watch the right guard, number 68. He knocks the whole line down. And there goes Perry and drives himself in there.
And that's Anthony Phillips, 6'3", 286-pound senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma. He is a Lombardi finalist. They're down to 12, and he showed you why he is there. As Lasher comes on to attempt the point after. And for the 3rd time today, he's good. And with 2:35 to go first quarter, Oklahoma leads Oklahoma State 21-7. Roger Twyble, Lee Corso back with you in Stillwater, and it's been like practice for Oklahoma so far, Lee.
Well, Oklahoma's not only a great football team, they're extremely well coached, and they haven't been beating themselves so far. The only way really to stop Oklahoma is for Oklahoma to stop themselves.
And they've been known to cough it up on a few occasions. Just one fumble so far today, and they recover that. Thompson kicks it off. He gets a little bit more on that one, and Oklahoma State University's Mike Clark is tripped up at the 28-yard line. Gundy is 3 of 3 for 50 yards. Oklahoma State 1st and 10. Sanders across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Dante Williams, number 98. Another one of those Oklahoma players that has been injured and is back this week. Well, Barry Switzer told us the other day that both Oklahoma State and Nebraska actually had more returning lettermen. As a matter of fact, Oklahoma State had more than both Oklahoma and Nebraska. And that ends the first quarter of play. Oklahoma leads Oklahoma State 21-7. Roger Twyble, Lee Corso back with you in Stillwater, Oklahoma. 21-7, the Sooners. 14 carries, 45 yards for Barry Sanders. 2nd and 6 for Oklahoma State. Gundy, the option. Sanders spins. Sanders has a chance. He could go all the way. Barry Sanders is caught from behind at the 6-yard line by Jerry Parks, the freshman from Fort Bend, Texas. 67 yards on the pickup.
Beautiful option play by Gundy, number 12. He comes down, he gets knocked down by 34 Dixon. Sanders avoids one man, and Parks, Jerry Parks, has 4.4 speed, catches him from behind. Sanders is laboring there, but a tremendous play.
That's his 15th carry of the day. 14 previous carries, hard yards. First time Lee in the open field.
Number 12, Matt Mitchell from Indianapolis, Indiana, missed him. And there goes Sanders. And here comes Parks. Number 8 catches him from behind.
First and goal from the 7. 2 wideouts to the near side. Sanders right in the middle. He gets 2 down to the 5-yard line.
You notice where that play went, though. It went outside. It looks like the Oklahoma defense has decided to stop Sanders from the inside out, forcing him to run outside. That's why he hasn't had much yardage going inside.
And a timeout called by Oklahoma State. They've got to give Barry Sanders a little bit of a rest. 5:43 to go. First half. Sooners lead at 21-7. Every great tailback has had a great blocking fullback. 32, Garrett Limbrick.
Limbrick makes the block right there on number 41. Sanders makes a good move. 8, Jerry Parks is the only secondary man at Oklahoma that could catch Sanders from behind, and he's got great speed, 4.4 speed, and he does catch him right there.
And Oklahoma State has it. Second and goal from the 5-yard line. 5:43 left to go, first half. 2 tight ends. Dykes split to the near side. Sanders, tough yards again up the middle. Down to the 2.5, 3-yard line. James Good, 39, made the tackle. They've called Reggie Jackson Mr. October for a lot of years. Maybe we have a new Mr. October. Against Tulsa, 304 yards and 5 touchdowns. Colorado, 174 and 4 scores. Nebraska, 189 and 4 touchdowns. Missouri, 154 and 2. And last week against Kansas State University, 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. And today, he's 17 carries, 118 yards. And he's out of the lineup right now as Gundy's going to throw a Dykes touchdown. The first touchdown pass and first touchdown reception against Oklahoma for Mike Gundy and for Hart Lee Dykes.
On the replay, you'll notice it's exactly the same play that Gundy scored a touchdown. It's a rollout designed to get to number 11, Dykes. He does get it to him this time.
And Blanchard slams home the extra point by the narrowest of margins. He kept it low and strong into the wind. And Oklahoma State is pulled to within a touchdown with 5:06 left to go in the first half from Lewis Field in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Blanchard will kick it off into the wind. And low line drive kick, and that's that man Bell again. And he's at the 34-yard line where he's dragged down by a host of orange-shirted Oklahoma State players. 4:52 to go. First half, 21-14. Gaddis on first down. Gaddis across the 45 to the 48-yard line. And he has done a great job on first down. Lamar McGriggs, number 7, makes the stop.
They're running a counter option. Watch, they'll fake it one way and come back. And now number 68, Anthony Phillips, cleans out part of the line, and then Gaddis moves forward. Well, one of the things that happens when you play an option team is you get so concerned about the option, you forget about the middle traps.
Great numbers for Gaddis, who only had 234 yards rushing coming into this game. Gaddis again, and he's got all sorts of room. One man to beat. Gaddis inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, where Rod Smith, the junior from Tulsa, finally makes the tackle. 37 yards on the pickup for the freshman. This guy's a freshman. from Midwest City, Oklahoma.
The wishbone is impossible to stop if you do it properly. The fullback is taken by one man. They pitch it out to Gaddis, number 32, who eliminates two men. There comes a great block by number 25, Stafford, who, if you remember, made the same block on the other side. And there goes Gaddis, number 32.
Gaddis with 185 yards now, as they'll split Adrian Cooper, the tight end, out to the top of your screen. And that's Stafford. And Stafford inside the 15, down to the 13. A gain of about 2. The clock running with 4 minutes left to go first half. Sim Drain, the third from Stillwater, the leading tackler for Oklahoma State University, along with Rod Smith, makes the stop.
Oklahoma's done a nice thing here. They run a trap play in the middle every once in a while just to keep the Oklahoma State players inside. But here they come with the option play now, the triple option.
Gaddis 185 yards rushing, the most by a Sooner so far this year. And a good defensive play there at the 15-yard line. Number 53, Sim Drain, the third. He's a local kid out of Stillwater High School.
He's a second-team All-Big 8 player in 1987. He comes from the inside. They went to the triple option. They'll go back to the triple option right now because it's impossible to stop. Now watch number 53 to your inside of your picture. He'll get inside and make good penetration. That's one of the ways to stop the quarterback, is to get to him before he can get to that seam.
Third down and 9. Leon Perry is in there along with Stafford and Gaddis. Ross is split to the top of your screen. And Thompson is stuck at the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up a fourth down situation for the Sooners of Oklahoma with 2:43 left to go, and that means that R.D. Lasher will come onto the field goal.
Quarterback center exchange. He almost drops the ball. Now that split second eliminates the timing. That's how precise you have to be with the wishbone. Even that little split second right there stopped the timing, and Oklahoma State stops him.
Lasher will have the ball placed down at the 17, 27 yards on the attempt, with the wind to his back. And that was easy. That slams into the athletic offices, the football offices here at Oklahoma State University. So we're at halftime at Lewis Field in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And the University of Oklahoma holds a 24-14 lead against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State University. Let's go to our ESPN studios and Tim Brando. Tim? Thanks, Tim. And the wind has died down considerably here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, as the Sooners with a 24-14 lead as we get set for the second half here at Lewis Field. And let's check out some halftime statistics, Lee, which would be great statistics for a lot of teams. But first of all, there's been this celebration at halftime here, and they honored 3 Olympians. That is Robin Ventura, who played on the baseball team. That's John Smith, a wrestler. And, of course, Oklahoma State with a great wrestling tradition. And also being honored, Kenny Monday. All 3 of those young men, gold medalists. And they were honored here at halftime. And a tremendous, tremendous honor.
Oklahoma State's athletic programs have won 37 national championships, 120 individual championships. Only UCLA and USC have won more championships for NCAA than Oklahoma State.
And, of course, we've seen the Oklahoma State baseball program on ESPN many times as Oklahoma receives it. And number 5, Glenn Milburn, is run down at the 6-yard line. A pumped-up Oklahoma State team. Let's take a look now at those halftime stats, which would be good entire game stats for a lot of teams, except for the pass completions. Oklahoma 0 for 2. Oklahoma State 6 for 11. No passing yards. 77 for OSU. Then the rushing lead.
307 yards, mostly on the option play to the outside. Oklahoma does not have to run any other plays except the triple option, and they might score every time, if not every other time, against Oklahoma State.
Each team with a turnover, and Oklahoma now with Charles Thompson at quarterback takes a 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line. And they go to their fullback, Perry, and he gets about 3. Marcus Jones, the nose guard, makes the tackle. How about the plus yardage, the minus yardage, and scoring drive for OU?
It's going to be a lot of gold at the beginning. Gold, touchdown, gold, touchdown. They come out and scored 3 times in a row. Then they had a punt because of the field position. They went down and fumbled and stopped themselves. Went down and kicked a field goal. Oklahoma is an outstanding offensive team unless they stop themselves.
2nd and 7. And Gaddis up to the 13-yard line. But once again, Marcus Jones, the senior from Port Arthur, Texas, makes a stop. Gaddis in the first half. What a tremendous job by this freshman. 9 carries, 180 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
That was the same play that he's been breaking in the second half. In the first half, obviously, Pat Jones talked to Marcus Jones, the nose tackle, to stay at home and watch that counter trap play.
Well, all of a sudden, Marcus Jones has made 2 tackles, and we didn't call his name in the first half at all. 3rd down and 5. Oklahoma 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Thompson tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Number 57, Sean Mackey. The right defensive tackle from Marlow, Oklahoma, with a big defensive play.
One of the ways to stop the wishbone is to get penetration. Watch number 57. He actually gets in the backfield that causes Thompson to trip up. Very, very fine play by 57 Mackey.
Now into the wind. Todd Thompson from his own end zone. And Sanders standing at the 46-yard line. Spiraling putt short, and a little bit of a mix-up there as Mike Clark makes the fair catch at the 45. 35 yards on the punt. 2 wide receivers split to the near side. Gundy's got to scramble again. Finally hits his man, Sanders. Sanders still on his feet. Sanders across the 40 to the 45-yard line. And, folks, he did it all by himself. It was supposed to be a screen, and he got in front of his blockers.
One of the great things that they do in pro football is they take a guy like Sanders, 21 right there, and they get the ball to him a lot of different ways. Oklahoma State gets the ball to him here. Now it's nothing more than a running play. But look, that's better than all the blocking in the world. He makes his own move, gets away from another guy, takes off, and number 12 catches him from behind.
Just his 13th reception of the year as Gundy throwing again. He's got Parker. Parker run out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and that'll be close to another Oklahoma State first down. Jerry Parks on the coverage.
This is what I was talking about. A little quick pass here, a screen. Now, we haven't called Hart lead Dykes in the second half, number 11. Throw the ball in this direction. Even when they cover him, Gundy will find that Dykes will catch the football.
Lee, the wind is turned around now, and it's coming out of the north, so it's not directly behind the Oklahoma State Cowboys. As Gundy has hit his last 3 passes, he's checking off again as Oklahoma's showing blitz at the line of scrimmage. And Sanders will take it up the gut. He's inside the 45, and he's got the first down to the 44-yard line of Oklahoma. As Barry Sanders, what kind of consistent back has he been, Lee? Well, he's led the nation in scoring, rushing, and all-purpose rushing every week of this season.
Nice block this time by number 32. Lindbrick gets a good block on the linebacker, 56. Willard just gets in the way enough where that Sanders can squeeze through a small hole for a first down.
Dykes 11, Mayfield 17, split out to the far side on 1st and 20 out of the shotgun. Jared Green in motion to the near side. But Lindbrick was wide open out of the backfield and intercepted. Intercepted by Kevin Thompson, his 5th pick of the year, and he took it right away from Brent Parker.
Thompson from Houston, Texas, was playing in the middle. Number 19 comes down the field. Green, all of a sudden, 30-29 is free, but watch him. Nice close on the ball, and he just took the ball away from him. 5'11", 191 pounds, just stripped the ball away from him. Watch number 22. Good movement there.
5th interception of the year, and with 3:52 to go, 3rd quarter, the Sooners have it. Pitch back. Stafford's got room to the outside. Across midfield to the 45-yard line, and an Oklahoma first down. Rod Smith, 45, made the tackle.
It's amazing Oklahoma State changes their defense, so Oklahoma goes to a different kind of an option. It's called a counter option. They pitch it real quick to Stafford 25, and there he goes.
Lee, they've got their tight end Cooper split out. They're not using a tight end. They've got 3 men in the full house backfield, and it's a different look.
That's exactly my point. They do so many things from the wishbone that every time you do something, they change. And there, the 2 wideouts are split again.
That's the tight end Cooper split to the top of your screen. Thompson. Gaddis at the 42-yard line after a gain of 3. Okay, thank you very much, Tim. Of course, the Heisman battle between Aikman and Sanders, if it is, not a real big day for Troy Aikman there on 2nd and 8. And a good job by the Cowboys defense as Thompson falls across the 40 to the 39-yard line, and they'll have a 3rd down and 6 upcoming. Mike Clark, a freshman from Houston, the defensive back, came up to make the tackle. A lot of players from the state of Texas on these 2 teams, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. 3rd down and 6 with 2:19 to go 3rd quarter. Gaddis splits out now to the far side. Thompson. Not quite enough. Great athletic move by Charles Thompson to turn a no gain into a gain of 5, but he comes up a yard short.
You watch Thompson. He's running the I formation, but he's running the same play. Notice he fakes the ball to Perry, the fullback, coming down for the option, cuts it in. Colbert, number 91, misses the tackle, and he drives himself forward. Now it's 4th down.
And they're going for it.
All right, now.
This is the 4th time today a team has gone for it on 4th down. The 2nd time for Oklahoma.
They rolled the right guard last time. They need to run the option, and they might score.
4th down and 2 now. Oklahoma State splits out their middle people. Thompson is going to keep it. He's got it. He fumbles. Sim Drain, a penalty marker's down. Sim Drain, 53, falls on it. Oklahoma State has it. Oklahoma State has it, and this is a fired-up bunch of Cowboys from Oklahoma State University with 1:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They trail it by 10. Now the official, no penalty, and Oklahoma State has it.
Thompson runs the ball down the line. He's run the option. 31, the left-hand side of your picture. Devin Jones right there knocks the ball loose. And Oklahoma State dodges a bullet. He was on his way for a touchdown. The ball was stripped, and Oklahoma State's got the football.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. 4 wide receivers now for the Cowboys, and they give it to Sanders up the middle, across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And, folks, the wind is not much of a factor. It's calmed down. It's coming out of the north right now. And consequently, that's going to change the strategy here in the late going as 1:02 left to go. And you see the flag just kind of cuddling up around that flagpole right now as Barry Sanders, a true team player. 2nd and 6. Gundy nearly has it picked off, but it's caught. Hart Lee Dykes makes the reception on the deflection. Ken McMitchell was the man that got his hand on it. Lee, I thought Oklahoma had another pick.
Number 12, Mitchell hits the ball, deflects it into Dykes, number 11. You know what great concentration it takes to catch a ball like that? That's unbelievable. Once the ball is deflected, it starts turning end over end. Watch it again. Watch the concentration on Dykes' eyes. He never loses contact, takes the ball with one hand. Great play.
And Sanders again. You know, one of the impressive things about Barry Sanders coming into this game, carrying the ball 192 times for nearly 1,500 yards, he had only lost 25 yards. Just imagine that. All those times carrying the football, all that yardage out there, and he only loses 25 yards. Well, there's a great running backs here at Oklahoma State. Miller, Ernest Anderson, Thurman Thomas, and now Barry Sanders. 2nd down and 8. 10 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Gundy looking deep. Well, he had Dykes down there. Now he throws it to Sanders. Nice spin move to the 41-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 2 as we've completed 3 quarters of play at Lewis Field, Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Sooners of Oklahoma lead Oklahoma State 24-14. Dr. Twaddle Lee Corso back with you at Lewis Field, Stillwater, Oklahoma. 3rd and 2 for Oklahoma State at the Oklahoma 41-yard line. Sanders has got the first down, still going inside the 35 to the 34-yard line for a Heisman Trophy candidate, Barry Sanders.
What a great effort that was. Number 73, Kidder. Number 51, Bolvera. Come off the ball really nice. But watch this right there. He's hit. The ball is trying to be stripped by number 78, Evans, but he drives himself forward. Watch number 78, Evans, try to strip the ball away from him, but he's strong enough to keep it right there.
1st and 10, 3 wide receivers. Mayfield and Green split to the near side, and they'll go to Sanders! Outside! Barry Sanders! Barry Sanders to the 1-yard line! 34 yards on the pickup.
ISO play. Starts one way, comes back. It's a great block by number 33, Lindbrick right there. Makes a move and makes number 22, Thompson, miss him. Number 12, Matt Mitchell, catches him from behind. But look at every single effort he gives. What a great effort by Barry Sanders.
That is strong, folks. 1st and goal from the 2. Sanders is stopped at the 1-yard line. 46, Kurt Casper, the senior from Houston, Texas, stuck a shoulder in there and knocked him back. Just underway, 4th quarter, Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Sooners unbeaten in Big 8 play. Oklahoma State with the 1 loss to Nebraska. They're not just fighting for an in-state rivalry, they're fighting for the Big 8 championship and a berth in the Orange Bowl. Sanders, if he would average 216 yards over the final 4 games, to break Marcus Allen's record, and he's in for the touchdown. '25th touchdown of the year for Barry Sanders.
Sanders 2021, good offensive line surge, but watch the explosion leg power. There's where that 42-inch vertical jump comes into play. What great power of his leg to jump over the top of the Oklahoma defense.
Kerry Blanchard to attempt the point after. And it's good. 13:37 left to go. Oklahoma 24, Oklahoma State 21. And it's wild here in Stillwater right now. Blanchard to kick it off. Rod Fisher, number 7. And Glenn Milburn, number 5. Low line drive kick. And Fisher at the 15-yard line. To the 30.
Sanders, number 21, goes over the top, but number 32, Lindbrick, gets a great block. Right there, you notice number 32 leading away, and there went 21, Sanders right over the top. Keep your eye on the fullback, 32. This is why the play goes. He blocks 46 and allows Sanders to go over the top. Great play, Oklahoma State.
And what a great back Barry Sanders is. His Heisman stock increases every week.
Every play.
1st and 10, Oklahoma at the 30-yard line. 2 wide receivers again. Tight end is Cooper to the near side, and Perry is stuck right up the middle. 2nd and 8. Thompson in trouble. He's stuck at the 30-yard line. 57, Sean Mackey was the first man to get back to him. Brandon Colbert finished him off.
You called Mackey's number, 57. They're getting penetration. Watch to the left of your picture. 57 gets into the backfield. That disrupts the wishbone by forcing Thompson deeper and allows the pursuit from Oklahoma State to get there.
This is a different defensive team than we saw in the first half.
It's also a different defensive alignment. They play in a 4-3 defense like Miami does the Hurricanes.
3rd down and 10, and of course the Hurricanes with great success against Oklahoma through the years. Rodney Anderson is in at fullback right now. Thompson going downfield, nearly intercepted, And a beautiful defensive play by freshman Mike Hart. The intended receiver was Eric Ross, and Oklahoma has to punt it with 12:09 to go.
Fake their option, top of your picture, Ross, number 36, will run a post. But number 1, watch his left hand right there. Writes it down with his right hand. What a sensational play, because he didn't cause pass interference. Right there. Gets in front of the man. Terrific play.
Sanders is back with Gilliam as Todd Thompson standing at his 15-yard line. And a beautiful high spiraling kick. Gilliam backpedaling at the 19. Gilliam to the 23-yard line, and Oklahoma State will have it. 11:57 to go. 51 yards on the punt for Todd Thompson, and the momentum has shifted. Oklahoma State has the momentum, the crowd, everything going for it.
Oklahoma started off in the first quarter. They jumped ahead 14-0. And sometimes if you score too fast, too early, you have a tendency to let down.
Oklahoma State came back, made it 24-14 at halftime. And then with the score here, and it's 24-21, Mike Gundy, 1st and 10, and Sanders again! Barry Sanders across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Scott Gall, Kevin Thompson make the tackle, and for some reason, John Bovair, Jason Kidder, and Brian Woodard on that right side are blowing people out now.
And one of the reasons why it's working so well is that they're doing a good job of giving the perception. They're lining up in a passing formation, and they're now running the ball straight at them. Good
33 carries, 195 yards, and lead fast feet.
And this is against Oklahoma. It's not the Sisters of the Poor.
It's not Kansas, and it's not Kansas State. Jared Green knocked out of bounds at midfield, and Oklahoma State has got confidence. Oklahoma State has got momentum, and it feels, if we were betting people, that the team in the orange could come away with their first win in Stillwater since '66.
Matt Jones is a very close friend of Jimmy Johnson's. They're attacking the Oklahoma defense now exactly the way the University of Miami Hurricanes does. Also, they've changed the defense to play the Hurricane defense the second half, and they're doing much better.
Gundy has hit 6 of his last 7 passes. 1st and 10 from the 50. End around. That's Mayfield. Curtis Mayfield. Mayfield to the 21-yard line. Finally, Kevin Thompson makes the tackle. Mayfield, who's a 7'2" high jumper and the fastest man on the team, really made something out of a play that looked like it might have been stopped.
What a great call. They ran Sanders to the right. They ran a little reverse play to Mayfield, number 17. The reason why that play worked so well is they used number 21, Barry Sanders, as a decoy. As soon as he went one way, the Oklahoma defense went that way.
30 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10. Sanders. And a great play by number 39, James Good, who got him by one hand on the jersey and was able to hold him up. A loss of about a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 11. Look at Good's left arm. He's only got one hand. That whole left hand is all taped up.
You can play college football with a soft cast as long as it's wrapped with foam around it. That's perfectly legal.
So now, the best defense in the second half has been the Oklahoma State defense, and now the offense is starting to help them out. Gundy to throw. The reception by Jared Green, and another 1st down inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Jerry Parks, Ken McMitchell in on the stop.
You notice we're calling Greens number 19, Parker number 29. The reason why they're open is they're getting one-on-one coverage because they're double covered. Harley, Dykes the other side. One-on-one coverage. McMitchell's got him man for man. Cannot cover him. Good catch by Green. 6'1", 200-pound forward.
And Gundy's got a lot more authority throwing the football in this second half. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Sanders the lone setback. The hole up the middle, but plugged by Scott Evans, 78.
You mentioned it before, but in our conversation with Barry Switzer on the phone yesterday, he said that gentleman right there, Scott Evans, is the best down lineman in the Big 8 right now, and he's only a sophomore.
Evans, 6'3", 251 pounds, from Edmond, Oklahoma. A gain of 1 on that play. 2nd down and 8. Garrett Limbrick back in at fullback. Gundy going to Hart lead Dykes. He makes the catch. Dykes makes the catch at the 1-yard line. Scott Garl was all over him, and what a wonderful reception by the senior.
He goes down on an out cut. He goes to the inside, bounces off number 49, Gar, and makes a terrific catch right there. You know what's happening? The superstars are coming up. Dykes 11, 21 Sanders, 12 Gundy, and here comes Sanders this time over the right guard.
And where would they be without those 3?
But they're using them effectively. That's the thing that's impressive. Now,
3rd down and goal from the 2. Sanders, touchdown! Touchdown of the year for Barry Sanders, and he only needs 4 to break the NCAA record held by Lydell Mitchell and Mike Rozier of 29 in the season. Penalty marker is down. Penalty marker is down. The point after was good.
Oklahoma was offside.
And Lee Corso is right again.
It's obvious the guy jumped way ahead.
8:45 to go, 4th quarter. Barry Sanders, 36 carries, 196 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
If Tim Brown could win the Heisman on ESPN, why can't that guy?
He's got a good shot. He has an excellent shot. From Wichita, Kansas. 28-24. Oklahoma State leads at 8:45 to go. Blanchard to kick it off, and a deep kick. You can see the wind no longer blowing out of the west. And the wind not a factor right now. Now, let's see how this Oklahoma State defense holds up. Look at that. 205 yards in the first quarter. Since then, 109. 1st and 10 from the 20. Thompson across the 25 to the 29-yard line. Charles Thompson brought down by Melvin Gilliam. Also 53, Sim Drain the 3rd, and that'll be close to a 1st down.
Thompson is a magnificent quarterback from Lawton, Oklahoma. When he comes down the line of scrimmage, he's got such great athletic ability. He avoids the Oklahoma State players with great quickness.
Oklahoma looking to go 11-1 for the 4th consecutive year. Remember, they've lost 1 game already this year. 2nd and 1. Gattis runs into the official at the 36-yard line, spins ahead to the 38, and he's got an Oklahoma 1st down. Now, patented Oklahoma football this time would be to use about 7.5 minutes driving it down the field for the winning touchdown.
And they can do that. They might find a way to stop Gattis now. Just place the official in the spots where he runs, and he runs into him.
There you go. Gattis came into this game 40 carries for 234 yards and a touchdown. He's got over 200 yards rushing tonight. A tremendous evening by Gattis and by Sanders on 1st and 10. Thompson out of the backfield to Perry. Still on his feet, across midfield to the 46-yard line. Leon Perry, the fullback, with just his 7th pass reception of the year. 17 yards in the pickup before Brandon Colbert made the tackle.
Nice call by Jim Donovan, the offensive coordinator from upstairs. They run a little play-action play. Number 2 slips into the backfield. Perry does, catches the ball, avoids 1 Oklahoma State man, and then on his way and gets out of bounds. This is a nice drive by Oklahoma.
Gattis to the 40-yard line, number 98, David Bailey, senior from Oklahoma City, makes the stop. 2nd down and 5. And Thompson got his first pass completion of the game.
And sooner or later, he's going to fake that ball and throw it somebody deep down the corner because Oklahoma State's secondary is just coming running up and defending the run.
Well, you see, Gaddis has done something that no other Oklahoma back has done since '86. 2nd and 5. Pitch back. Gaddis. They're stringing it out. Good job by the Oklahoma State defense. They really covered the open side of the field that time. Torrance Cummings, the junior from Fort Smith, Arkansas, the man that made the stop.
He bided times for number 45, Smith, and the rest of his teammates had come in. They made the pitch the ball quick, which turns into a toss play. Nice defensive play on the outside, but there's 45. You notice a secondary man way up there.
Lamar McGriggs also did a good job of stringing it out. It's 3rd down and 4 with 6:24 left to go. And 3rd down conversions. The Sooners 4 for 13. Gaddis. 1st down Oklahoma as he's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. And there is Mike Gundy, the quarterback for Oklahoma State University, who set a conference record for freshman and sophomore for most passing yards, and he's having a tremendous junior year. 1st and 10, Oklahoma. 6:02 left to go. Thompson. Good job by Thompson inside the 30 to the 29. 2nd and 5. Pitch back. Gaddis, or Stafford, excuse me, wasn't looking for it, and he falls on his own fumble back at the 33-yard line.
Thompson was forced to pitch the ball a little quicker than normal. Number 25 is not ready because automatically he was ready to look for some kind of an option where he pitched it so quickly. Stafford knows that he's got to be alert, but Oklahoma State pressured Thompson so he had to really flip it out there really too quick.
Clock continues to run. 4:48 left to go. Now, look at this. Out of the I formation. 3rd down and 7. Thompson to Gaddis. Gaddis fumbles the ball. Recovered, though, at the 25-yard line. It looks like it'll be enough for the 1st down. Number 76, Mark Van Kiersville, was the man that fell on it, and it looks like it's going to be enough for the 1st down.
A little hot screen, which means he throws the ball out there, now it turns into a run. Good blocking by 68 down the field. Watch him get stuck right there. Ball is loose. Oklahoma falls on it. And it's going to be interesting. If it's 4th down, I know he's going to go for it, but I wonder where he's going to go.
Boy, you talk about the ball bouncing in the right spot. The last 2 plays, Stafford loses it. It bounces right back up in his hands. And then the fumble, it bounces right at the big tackle. And it'll be 4th and inches. They run into each other, but I think you got it. Stafford and Thompson ran into one another, but it looks as though he fell forward to get the 1st down. Now, Lee, I thought maybe they were trying to draw Oklahoma State offside with a long count.
No, they were trying to run a lead play, and they were called, what they call the huddle is lead right or left, and he calls it automatic, but they busted the play, but he's got enough presence of mind to drive it in there, and looks like he might have made the 1st
down. Can you believe these last 3 plays for Oklahoma? Are they living right or what?
Barry Switz is also telling him, now look, make sure we get a good drive. We don't want to give the ball back to Oklahoma State with too much time.
A field goal's no good. 4-point lead for the Cowboys. Perry, good 2nd effort inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Oklahoma State's defense led by Brandon Colbert on the stop, and the Cowboys defense has done a tremendous job in the 2nd half. After almost being run out of the stadium, and speaking about running out of the stadium, this guy has literally run out of the stadium tonight, Barry Sanders.
But he cannot play as long as Oklahoma has the ball and the clock moving. They've got the advantage right now.
2nd down and about 5. Gaddis right at the line of scrimmage. Little or no gain is Brandon Colbert. We keep calling 91's name. Been in a lot of tackles. 6'2", 260, a sophomore from El Reno, Oklahoma. And as every year goes by, Lee, Pat Jones in his recruiting war against Oklahoma, he says, I can get about 1 out of 3 now. He says Oklahoma still gets 2 of the best kids, but I'm getting 1 of them now.
And it's obvious if he goes to Kansas and get a guy like Sanders, it's worth it.
3rd down and 4. Ross splits out to the far side. Thompson's got room. Thompson. Touchdown. Touchdown run, his 8th. Make that 9th rushing touchdown of the year. And Charles Thompson has got Oklahoma back up on top. .233 left to go. R.D. Lasher comes on to attempt the point after to give him a 3-point lead. And it's good. 2:33 left to go. Oklahoma leads Oklahoma State 31-28.
Oklahoma State took a chance. They put everybody up on a pitch man. They give Thompson just a crease, and boom, he was gone. He outrun 53, drain, touchdown Oklahoma. There's still enough time. 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Sanders, Dykes, and Gundy have enough time.
He's going to go back to Norman with it. As Thompson, the man to replace Jamel Holloway, has led his team back in front. Todd Thompson to kick it off. And back deep, yeah, 21, Barry Sanders. You better believe it. 22, Mitch Nash. This has been one of the best college football games I've had a chance to watch in a long time. Hope you've enjoyed it at home. We got another one coming up, Florida State, South Carolina right afterwards, and this is Sanders, and he's going to go for it. He's stopped at the 9-yard line. University of Oklahoma, Ted Long, a backup defensive back, made the tackle.
Now Oklahoma's got 5 defensive backs in there. They're playing the nickel defense, trying to intercept the football.
Gundy down the middle, and he's got Dykes. Hartley Dykes is tripped up at the 30. Pat Jones told us yesterday they'd love to see the nickel.
Number 11, Dykes, goes down. He's going to run what they call a drag pattern, which means he comes underneath. He gets away from one man, and wow, number 22, Thompson, saves a touchdown with that tackle.
22 yards on the last play. 1st and 10, Oklahoma State. Dykes, scattered to the 45-yard line. Hart, Lee Dykes.
When in doubt, go to your superstars. He comes down the middle of the defense, watches concentration, he catches the football. Number 12, Mac Mitchell can't stay with him. The reason why he's getting open now, Roger, is they can't afford to double team him with 2 minutes to go in the game.
2:05 to be exact. Oklahoma State with 2 timeouts left, and that pass, just off the hands of Jared Green. And on the coverage, Jerry Parks, and he really put a lick on Green over there.
Anytime you get a defensive back like Parks that comes up and makes a great hit on an out like that, watch out for the out and up. The coach upstairs likes to call that play.
2nd and 10. Exactly 2 minutes left to go. Oklahoma 31. Oklahoma State 28. Quick out. Dykes has got it again. He slips at the 38-yard line. Hartley Dykes averaging nearly 20 yards of reception, coming into this game with over 800 yards all-time. Big 8, leading receiver as the clock continues to run with 1:40 left to go. Call it 3rd down and 4. They give it to Sanders. He's got the 1st down. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Oklahoma State also has 2 timeouts that they can utilize here.
As they move the chains, the clock stops. As Gundy brings him up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Gundy down the middle. The intended receiver was Parker. He wanted to flag. He didn't get it, but it stops the clock with 1:20 to go. Jerry Parks on the coverage. Let me tell you something about Mike Gundy from Midwest City, Oklahoma. When he was a high school senior, he drove his team over 80 yards in 2 minutes and 13 seconds to win the state title.
He has the same opportunity here. This is the state title.
It is.
Only it's a bigger title.
And it's not just the state title. They're going for the Big 8 title, too. Sanders. Sanders has got some room. Sanders to the 20-yard line. Just shy of a first down. Kevin Thompson came up to make the tackle. Also there, Richard Dillon, who's checked into the game, number 41. He is their best linebacker, has been out with an injury, as Oklahoma State will take their second timeout with 1:03 to go. They trail it by 3. Roger Schwab, Lee Corso back with you at Lewis Field, Stillwater, Oklahoma. One footnote on that Mike Gundy story about his high school. The state championship game was here at Lewis Field, and they went in the same direction. Little deja vu, Lee?
Absolutely. 3rd down, 2. You need to run the ball to get the first down, and then line up and watch for a right-hand corner out where it says Oklahoma State. That's the area to go for a touchdown to win the game.
Sanders, 38 carries, 214 yards, the 3rd best in his career. Gundy, Sanders. They get it to the 19. It's going to be close, and they keep the clock going. Now they stop it because they're going to have to measure it. That's going to be very close, and now a penalty marker is thrown. A penalty marker is thrown, and it's going to be, I think, Limbrick, 32. Boy, that was way after the play, and it was out of bounds. Now the officials are going to talk it over.
The option play to Sanders, number 21. Keep your eye on the left-hand side of your picture and see if there's any penalties. Dead ball. Personal foul. This one.
A personal foul is called against Oklahoma State. Limbrick was blocking, but you saw the man 41, Richard Dillon, pulling him out of bounds. Boy, what a call to make with a minute left to go in the game. Now it's loss of down. It's 4th down. The ball is back at the 34-yard line, and Pat Jones has got to take off his glasses. And what do you do here, Lee?
You throw the ball to number 11. You take him right to the middle, and then break him to the outside, and you hit him over there about the 19-yard line to the right-hand side of the picture right now.
And sometimes, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, you got to sit there and say, what in the world do you have to do to beat Oklahoma? And I'm afraid that personal foul call was one of those calls where the officials saw the end of the play and not the beginning of what happened.
I always felt as a coach, if the game could be decided by the players on the field and not with a guy with a striped shirt, I'd feel a lot better. Right now, Pat Jones has got to feel like the game was won by that call right there.
Point is, we saw on that replay, Dillon pulling Limbrick by the shoulder pads. And folks, watch number 32. He's blocking to your left, and Dillon is 41.
The fullback, 32, 41. Watch the play the whole time. He's got a hold of him. He pulls him, and he calls that a personal foul and could cost the game. Now, I tell you what, unless you're absolutely positive, don't call anything like that and disrupt a great game like this.
The side judge, Michael Bogard, one of the officials over there. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Dykes is in the middle of the 3. 4th down and 14. Gundy has got Parker. Oh, he dropped it. Brett Parker dropped the football.
You can tell by this play right here who wins it. Unless you've been on the sideline and feel what that man is going through, you have any idea. Number 29 gets in the end zone. A perfect shot by Gundy. The ball is going to be caught right here. Off of his shoulder.
Might have been slightly tipped. Hart lead Dykes. Oklahoma has it. 1st and 10. The Cowboys with just 1 timeout and 40 seconds left to go.
Well, let me tell you a story about this. And when I was a coach in Indiana, I lost a heartbreaker to Michigan like this, and it cost me the big chance for the Big Ten championship, but it got me a major bowl. This game has propelled Oklahoma State into a major bowl situation, and Sanders into the Heisman Trophy winning.
2nd down and 10. And no timeouts remaining, and the clock is just going to run out now.
If Oklahoma State had any feelings about not being in the same class with Oklahoma this year, there's no question in your mind the two teams are both great football teams. You got to give Oklahoma credit. 80 yards, 4th quarter, away from home. And they did it.
Absolutely. And so, the Oklahoma Sooners, who hadn't lost to Oklahoma State since 1976, keep that streak intact. And Oklahoma State, with their best chance maybe since 1966 of winning a game against Oklahoma here in Stillwater. The final score, the Sooners of Oklahoma 31 and the Cowboys of Oklahoma State 28. And Barry Switzer, the head coach, University of Oklahoma, has joined us downstairs. Coach Roger Twyba, Lee Corso here. Congratulations on a very close and tough victory.
Hey, thank you, Roger, Lee. It was a great game. It was exciting all the way. I think that anybody who watches tonight saw two fine football teams play and compete.
Barry, why did they give you so many problems defensively in the second half after you did everything you wanted to do early in the game?
Well, the 3rd possession we took, moved the ball and fumbled when we made the 1st down. You know, they had the ball the 3rd quarter and controlled it some, but you know, our offense they never really stopped us. It was a great drive to go win the ball game. You know, that was our last chance. We had to go do it right then.
Barry, what about Barry Sanders from the sideline? What do he look like?
Oh, he's a great back. I said that coming in the game. And Hartley Dykes is a great player. I tell you what, they're 2 of the best players at their position in the country.
Coach, what about the personal foul call at the end of the game?
Well,
would you rather see the players and the coaches decide?
I'll tell you what happened. It was a 4th down. It was a 3rd down, and they don't make the 1st. It was great defensive pursuit. It makes it a 4th and a foot, but their fullback, 32, made the Johning gesture, mouthed off to our players there, and the guy called the penalty. We've had that called on us too before, and that they lost their poise right there, and it's a critical situation for them, and that's what beat them.
Coach, what about on the drive for the winning touchdown? 2 times you fumble the football, it bounces right back up to you. Another time, your quarterback turns around and Stafford knocks him for the 1st down. Is that the luck of the Sooners?
That's Sooner magic. That's Sooner magic. Lee knows that's a design play. Only football coaches recognize that, right, Lee?
You'll put it in next week, but I would like to say something about you went 80 yards, 4th quarter, away from home, vintage Oklahoma football, correct?
That's right. And I tell you what, it was a great drive. Charles Thompson did a great job, and Mike Gaddis was another great back on the field.
Oh, absolutely. Barry, congratulations on a great victory, and I know the folks around the country certainly enjoyed seeing these 2 teams from Oklahoma.
I'm 6-0 on ESPN. I like this.
Okay. Best of luck to you the rest of the way. Barry Switzer.
Thank you. Hi, Kerry.
Final score here from Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Sooners of OU with another victory against Oklahoma State, 31-28 the final. And let's go to our ESPN studios and Tim Brando.